Side then, with only 7 surviving the thumping that they withstood in Paris last season. A new captain for the championship in Phil Matthews. David Irwin returns for his first cap since February '84. Kiernan's back as the wing this time in place of Crossan. Anderson in for Francis, who's injured. And Pat O'Hara, a new face in the championship, with newcomers to the championship also in Mannion, Ahern, John Sexton and Steve Smith. So in many respects it's all change and an experimental side up against it here at Lansdowne Road. France going for power, and in Jacques Faroux's expectations, a mobile, explosive, dynamic pack. Berbizier returns to captain the side for the first time in the championship, his first international since breaking his arm in Argentina. Lafond comes in as a late replacement for Béraud on the wing. Bourguignon is the new face in the second row, his first championship appearance, and a massive back row that now includes Carminati back for Eric Champ. A back row, I hasten to add, with a total weight of over 15 stones. And of course, so much depending on this Bajadita, the all-push, non-striking scrummage that Faroux's introduced to French rugby, and their side oozing power. 60,000 here at Lansdowne Road. And is this man to be the architect, the young Parisian architect, Franck Meynell, to kick off? Brian Anderson of Scotland in charge. And wait for it, the real early confrontation of the forwards. France with massive power, a lot of experience, but perhaps unsettled by what happened in Bucharest against Romania. We shall see. Meynell then starts. Berbizier back in action and hounded straight away. Well, disruptive tactics are what Ireland, I think, require, but that time they were round on the wrong side after the Berbizier was in early trouble.
Yes, we could see already the power of the French forwards, that unlike the start of most internationals, it was a good kick-off by Franck Meynell and immediately put the Irish under pressure.
Steve Smith, the Ireland hooker, his first championship game. Lenihan and Anderson, but it's long for Matthews. Worked well. To Mannion. Ahern. Neat little point. Action. Sexton goes. Rosiske covers. There's John Sexton of the Lansdowne club. Neat play by Fergus Ahern, his club teammate. And both with the baptism of fire in the championship. Comes down to Ahern now. Paul Dean. The road have waited for. In goes Blanco. The ball is loose and it's unopposed. Brendan Mullin. What a superb high ball that opened up the French defence. Lafond and Blanco in real bother. It went loose and Mullin was on hand. And that's his 11th try for Ireland. Conversion by Kiernan, and it's 6-0, 6 minutes played.
Well, I think the referee, if he had the benefit of the replay, would be looking at David Irwin there. That certainly looked a couple of yards offside, but it's a super up and under here. We see that Blanco misses the ball, and there's Brendan Mullin picking it up, and those the exact tactics that Ireland want to pursue this afternoon, to harry the French as much as they can.
Pierre Berbizier. France, of course, using their hooker as the scrum half at the set piece line out. Dean again. It's a fine kick. Blanco's in trouble. Up comes Kiernan, but he's beaten on the 22. Irish possession again. That's the hooker, Steve Smith. Phil Matthews. Ahern. Straight through to Danaher. Trying to pin France back again. And it's kept in just by Blanco, but they stay in their 22. And Phil Matthews has really got the Irish with their dander up.
Oh, he has. He's certainly got them wound up, and very clever. He's varying the line-outs because he realises that the French are pretty big in the line-out, so he's calling 2 4-man line-outs.
Penalty to Ireland. France knocked 10 metres back offside. Kiernan summoned up to kick for goal. chance to make it 9-0 within 9 minutes of the start. Kiernan got under it a bit, but it may be accurate. Yes! That's set that cat among the pigeons. So much pessimism abounding here in Dublin, but already a different aspect to this season's encounter. Meynell once again. O'Hara of Sunday's Well. Back from Condom, from Andrea to Sella. Back goes Kiernan, awkward ball. Lafond coming through, Ahern covering. Good clearance. Well, Jimmy Davidson, the Irish coach, has certainly got them in the right frame of mind. 13 minutes played. 9-0 to Ireland. Knocked through by Session. And the odd fist going in. Well set up. Dean. Owen chases. It's a cleverly placed ball. The bounce not so kind. Andrea off the French player, knocked forward, offside, and a punch-up develops again. The tension beginning to break out into the open. Sella contesting. Rodriguez as well, and looking very unpleasant. And signs of the French are more than a little worried.
Yeah, they're very worried indeed, but also the Irish forwards aren't taking any prisoners today, that they're making certain that they're taking the game to the French, and the one thing that Phil Matthews has to do now, he has to keep his players going. You know, he can't afford to let them relax, he has to keep driving the forwards.
Well struck. What a great pick. 12-0 it is, and who'd have believed that?
The Irish selectors were desperate to get Michael Kiernan in the side, and moved him out of position onto the wing.
And yet again, it's Meynell who has to restart. Back to Ahern. It's a tidy kick as well. Blanco comes up. Has a bit of room this time. Up comes Mullen with the tackle. Lafond outside, but Blanco round on the loop. Flicked inside to Rodriguez. And then set back by Andrea, Berbizier, Lafond. Back inside there is Rodriguez again. Carminati. Knock on by Session. France, for the first time, really beginning to get to grips with it. Great support play.
Well, that was French rugby at its best, and it just shows what these guys can do if they actually relax and let the ball do the work.
So will the French shove disrupt? Well, Smith certainly got the clean strike. Untidy ball, Dean recovers. They're offside. The backs too eager to get up. And here's surely a simple chance, if there is such a thing in international rugby, for Michael Kiernan in front of the posts, a metre or two outside the 22. Lenihan with words of experience that come from 39 internationals. Can Kiernan make it 15-0? Oh yes. That, I feel, is a very important kick. And is Farou's change of plan beginning to come to grief? Jean Condom. The tap down was by Rodriguez. Condom and Bourguignon in support. Meynell standing close. Rebounds off Paul Dean. Meynell recovers but is in bother. But Pack in support. Over the French 10-metre line. Back to Berbizier. Andrea Sella. 3-2 here. Blanco up in the line. Lafond. It's up to Ahern. Lafond against Ahern. Blanco's inside, but Lafond's in at the corner. Brilliant running.
This was super support play here. Just notice how the French backs just draw the man. You see Patrick Seller here commits the fullback, Serge Blanco straight out, and no problem at all here for Lafond, that he manages to break through a good covering tackle by Ferguson Ahern. But
in the meantime, Ahern on the break. The fly hack through falls kindly to Blanco. His 8th appearance against Ireland. Serge Blanco back to position, the line out just outside the 22. Line out obstruction by France as they jumped across. So very quickly a chance for Kiernan to pull back the points here. Well, 3 of them anyway. Just to make it 18-4. Michael Kiernan again. That was a superb pressure kick. He must have known the significance. So coolly done. And a 14-point lead looks good, despite the fact that Ireland have the wind gusting behind them in this first half. Meynell. Alive-oh from the crowd. It's early days yet. Meynell held. Matthews and O'Hara doing well. Rodriguez now sending it back well. It's a penalty. Ireland offside. And that's head on to the post. And Berbizier calls up Lafond. Trying to put France within 11 points. The half-time whistle approaches. Lafond slips on takeoff, but gets it. So it's 18 points to 7, an 11-point lead as the half-time whistle goes. One of spectacular excitement as Ireland have thrown down the gauntlet. But bear in mind, they change ends now to face the wind. They may be confident, but in no way can they afford to sit back. So Kiernan into the wind. Ahern, Dean. That's a worker. Blanco.
that's a super kick by Paul Dean. I think one of the problems that he'll find in the second half, that I think they'll find it a lot harder to kick against this strong wind.
So the early initiative falling to Ireland. Ahern again. He's doing well. I mean, that was brave and strong. On drives McCoy. Ireland's back only 6 metres out. Still they go. France in all manner of disarray, obstructs offside and concede the penalty. Well, I think if this were to go over, we'd see the French heads hang again, as Michael Kiernan has a chance to extend that lead. The crowd roar. The kick goes through. Magnificent.
It was a magnificent kick, that, because not only was he wide on the touchline, he was kicking into a very, very stiff breeze. And that's just a fillip that the Irish needed at the start of the second half, facing the stiff breeze.
Paul Dean waits the line out just outside Ireland's 22. What atmosphere building up here. The unexpected in sight, but not yet. Meynell tries the Garriot in tactic. Danaher calls, it's still loose, anyone's ball. The French pack have it. 10 metres out. Berbizier took the wrong option, surely, but Ireland are offside. And, well, it could so readily have been a try had Berbizier made the switch to the open side, but a chance still of 3 points. Lafond then with a try and a penalty, trying to add to it. There's the further 3 points, and that keeps the door open for France. 21-10 and 12 minutes into the second half. Hangs in the wind, tells you just how strong it is on the pitch. The odd mistake, Rodriguez to Andrea Lagisquet. Beautiful little break of direction to cut inside. Matthews setting it up. Ahern. Back goes Laziske. And Blanco. Well, on a good day, he'd have been tempted to try and take Lafond and Laziske with him and set up a thrilling counter, but makes a very tame kick for touch and gives Ireland the throw-in from Smith. Willie Anderson fighting for it, did well. Ahern to Dean. Irwin bowled over by Rodriguez, but Rodriguez has come off the worse. Driven on by McCoy. Still there. Anderson again. Ahern. Mannion. Really ferocious tackling at times. That's the Ballymena lad. That's Smith. Lenihan. Ahern. Clever ball. Back goes Lafond. Ahern's there with him. In goes Kiernan. The Irish back are there. Smith. And Clancy drops it.
Yeah, traditional Irish forward play there, that they drove it up the blind side, they kept driving, but poor old Tom Clancy has had a couple of chances to get himself on the score sheet there, and unfortunately knocked on both times.
Jean Condom, his half-century of internationals up today. Morocco was the link man. Menel, Andrieux, Blanco in the line. Sella, chased by Irwin. Good tackle, but it's Laziske. Try number 13 to match the one he scored against Ireland last year. And France claw their way back into the match and take the few opportunities that come their way.
And let's just look for the support play here. Really, it was a missed ball by Menel that enabled Blanco to come into the line. But he's well covered by the defence. But really, you've got to look at the angle of running that Laziske takes up here. Once Sella evades David Irwin's tackle, he's perfectly positioned there for the inside pass for a cracking try.
Dean. For Irwin to chase. Accidental, I think, the collision. Laziske to the rescue. Berbizier to Blanco. Charged down by Matthews, by O'Hara. Well played by Menel, and off he goes. Carving his way up the middle. Franck Menel, the support from the front row. That's Portelin, the new prop. Berbizier held by McCoy, but it's Blanco now. France love it when it's loose. Carminati. Lafond inside. Blanco again. Rodriguez. Brilliant play to Portelin. Lafond. Now 7 metres out, the whole length of the field, and still they win possession again. Menel, who set the whole thing going. 10 metres out. Then over here, under the post comes Blanco. A sensational try that covered the length of the field and just showed the potential that was waiting to be realised. And France within 3 points.
Magnificent play there by the French, but they were helped with some woeful tackling by the Irish, that they had 2 or 3 opportunities to have stopped Franck Menel in his own 22 after Pat O'Hara charged the kick down, and then Michael Kiernan missed a couple of tackles there, and really that they were absolutely crucial. That whilst it looked very impressive indeed and super play by the French, they were helped with some very bad tackling.
And the conversion points added by Lafond to make it 21 to Ireland, 20 to France. Blanco rounding off a sensational move here. Menel, again the tackle, but Mullen not firm enough, and eventually the overlap for try to Serge Blanco, number 24. 21 points to 20. The match still raging, as it has from the kickoff. Total endeavour and commitment. Problems for Ahern, picked up by Berbizier. Carminati driven on by Undas. Ahern still lies injured. Berbizier away to Meynell. The threat comes. Angier, Blanco, Lafond inside, but Blanco pirouettes and finds Lagisquet. Covering is Kiernan, but he's inside him to go over. And France take the lead. Lagisquet ecstatic. With 7 minutes to go, France go ahead for the first time. They come back from the dead, and Lagisquet, the man to round it up. Lafond with the conversion, and it's all turned round. 5-point lead, having been adrift by as much as 15 points at one stage. And with Ahern out of position, injured, this was the instinctive skills that we've come to love in French rugby. Lagisquet cutting inside the covering Kiernan, who had that major problem of trying to check. Lagisquet living up to his nickname of the Bayonne Express. So Jacques Farou, the coach, may have escaped the guillotine yet again. Ahern, Dean, Irwin, Dean on the loop, gets away, looks for support, it had overrun him fractionally. Popped up by Danaher, it's still there. Well, there seemed to be a French knock-on involved, but they've got away with it. Blanco, attempt to find touch. Referee Anderson blows the final whistle, and France have escaped. They've somehow risen like the phoenix from the ashes to turn around a game in which Ireland led for all but the last 7 minutes. 26 points to 21, and Ireland must surely rue those earlier opportunities that could have set them on the road to one of the great upsets in rugby history.
So near